So a bad boy will get a girl a gift. Maybe it's a nice dress. You know what I mean?
And then he'll say, wear it for our
Say,
date.
"Wait." Yeah. That's like so nice. A good guy will never do that.
So I don't like smokers, I don't like drinkers, but I like somebody who, you are not naive sexually. You're not the kind of person who is stiff. You know, there's some church boys that are just one direction. No, please now. Can we change style?
Oh, I talk about it in the other room.
Yeah.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Beyond 30 podcast. And as usual, I have my girly girls with me.
I'm coming.
And I'm Tammy.
I am Dr. O. You already know.
Hey. I like the confidence that comes with Dr. O.
Okay, so today we are discussing a very interesting topic. I'm sure you can already get that this topic is going to be fun. You know, we'll be giving you back to back to back. So, like, if you've not subscribed, like, you're bad belly, press the subscribe button. Okay, so today we are discussing, why do good girls like bad guys? Why?
Mystery. They like the mystery.
Tell me back.
They like heartache.
But to me,
I think they like the excitement.
Maybe
yeah.
we should ask me because I'm sure we
Wait. Shots fired. Meaning what? I'm not a good girl.
Is that not a compliment? Is that, which one is a compliment? I don't know. It depends on how you want to take it.
Tell me is a good girl, then me I'm a bad girl. Meaning
I'm
what?
not a bad girl. You could have just been a normal
Okay,
girl,
I know I'm a good girl. I was very good.
Yeah. So did you like bad guys?
Well, what me I liked is very different. I don't know if I'll call it bad guys.
Okay.
I had a persona of like what attracted me. I felt like they had to be in music. They had to play some kind of instrument, right? I feel like they need to know how to sing. Those were the things that were attractive to me when I was, especially when I was so much younger. Then, of course, they had to also be smart. So, like, I don't know if the bad boy, and then it has to look good too, right? Like you can, but those were like, if a guy, you know, had a guitar and walked by, I'd be like, okay.
Mimi was auditioning for a man that is good with his hands.
Gang. Good. What does it do with the hands?
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. But yeah, when I was younger, like that's what I was a good girl, but I think I was just more attracted to those kinds of people. I think it's just because I also liked music, right? So now, if a good girl, I don't know the definition of a good girl. Let's talk about that. What's the definition of a good girl?
No. Definition of good girl is Temi.
How would you be like definition of good girl is Temi? Describe what that means. What does that mean?
Okay, let's have the Bible.
You guys, I'm feeling very judged right now. Like, how am I not a? I was a very good girl.
She's not categorizing herself as a good girl.
Tell me, did I say I'm a good? I mean, come on, let's say I'm a good girl.
But someone is self. How do you say it? Self-assessment. I was a good girl.
Do you want to
please.
be seen as a good girl?
I definitely was a good girl. I was just smarter than most good girls.
Oh yeah, let's define.
Well, that's exactly what is
let's
good girl.
Bad boy. What's the bad boy?
Who's a bad
A
boy?
bad
Who's
boy.
the bad boy?
So, let me define it the way my mother would define it. Any boy that was wearing earrings, had cornrows in his hair or dreads,
Okay.
used to dress, you know, unconventionally.
Maybe even all those guys that used to sag a bit.
No, that one is
That's a
Omota.
bad boy.
That one has gone into a different category. That one,
That one, no class. That one.
yeah, that one, yeah. But definitely, I think bad boys were boys that were just, you know, they were not your usual mama boys that would just be yes ma kind of boys. They were boys that had a mind of their own. Maybe they even already were going out. Then some also were drinking, smoking.
Party boys.
Yeah, party boys.
Not necessarily party.
No.
But
But
they
when we
also
were
call
growing
they
up,
fall into the same
they are
category
all-
though.
So for me, bad boy, definition of bad boy is party boy. It doesn't have to have earrings. You know, when we were growing up, how many boys had earrings on?
And that's why they were the bad boys now.
No, but there were lots of bad boys that didn't have that.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have that persona of like they do cornrow, wear earring. Bad boys are the ones they like to party and then they like to wink at girls. They have provocative looks.
Ha.
They're just
So if he
sitting
looks
down.
at you provocatively, he's a bad boy. Okay, I'm listening.
No, it's not just one person. They're doing like you can tell that just in general they're just like always sizing, people up, and then like they just look at you and just be like, like they're giving you the attention. They're giving you all the vibes of like, this one's going to be fun, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I
think
thought.
I know what she means by provocative. They're usually like flirtatious.
Very
Always trying
flirty,
to,
yes. They're usually
flirt
very
with their
flirty.
Eyes,
Yes.
or, even the way they
Yes.
talk and all
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And they always have pizzazz with like confidence. This confidence they always come with.
If you can't be a bad boy and not be confident,
I know.
It's part,
Like,
it comes
yeah,
with
it's part of
They
the
have to
package,
have it.
Yeah. So that's my own definition of bad boy.
Bad boy. Did
Yeah.
bad boys go to church?
Yes.
There's some of them in church. There's some of them in church. Yeah.
There's some of them in church.
Yeah.
They're the ones
And
that
they
will come
normally have
in.
a lot of girls around them
Yes.
because girls are normally drawn to them.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's they get a lot of attention.
Maybe I never knew. So I think my definition of bad boy. Please finish.
No, I just thought about it. So, as part of the definition of bad boys, could also be that what triggers good girls to bad boys is when girls see that a lot of girls are around that boy all the time. They're like, me too, I
something
want.
about-
Yes, there's something
So
about.
girls are like butterflies, eh? They
Yes,
get
so-
attracted to the flower. And they all flock to the same.
And I think boys do the same thing, but let's focus on the
Okay.
on the guys now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my definition of bad boy was more mysterious. So, yes, definitely the outward appearance was, they had different hairstyles, they had, earrings. Then there was just little things about how they dress, where they're not talking in their shirts. They just look a bit more rugged and rough around the edges. Right? And then some of them obviously had all those vices of drinking, smoking, going out to parties. But then on top of that, I feel like there were some bad boys that were not, it's not like they were bad. They were just more confident than other boys their age. And so people just categorize them as bad boy. Because obviously, so from our African culture where you're talking to an adult and you're all humble and all, what's the word?
Yes. Oh, there's this definition also that people used to say, like the boys that you can't categorize as bad boys. I'm thinking about them like those boys that they are fine and they know it.
I'm fine.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They are fine and they know it.
Yeah.
They just, sometimes they're not even saying anything. They're just like,
Steez.
yes,
Like-
they just have this steez and everybody's just like, oh, who's that guy? Like, who's that guy? Tall, whatever.
But please, if you are what are you? If you are not fine, you are not fine and you are
if
busy.
you are not fine,
you are
the only
forming
thing that
steez.
can work for you is if you have money.
You
know what I
lost,
mean?
You
Like-
lost me at the not fine.
No. What I mean by that is so not like whoa, but like so you don't have that natural like everybody just looks
You don't
at
have
you.
that kind of striking
Okay.
handsomeness.
Yes, you don't have
Yeah.
that striking handsomeness, but you have that thing where maybe you're always wearing the
You always
nice
dress
looking.
well.
Yes,
If
you're always
dress
looking
well
so
and you are
good.
confident. Then you can make up for the looks.
Yes. So sometimes, yeah. So that's the definition of bad girl. Have you finished
Now,
defining
good girl.
bad
Yeah.
boys?
Tell us about yourself.
I don't know what she's talking about. You're the one that's defining who a good girl
Okay,
is.
yeah. So please,
Sorry.
that's sweet.
Because you're the
not
one that said,
identified.
you don't know whether me I was a bad girl, Gomo. You don't know.
You don't know if she was a
Based on what
pretender
she has
too.
You don't know if I was
didn't know her
pretending.
then, but based on what she has been saying since we met her, she was a good girl.
You see, this life is it's not balanced. But please continue with the
So what's good
assessment.
girl
What's the
now?
good
Tell
girl?
me.
Good girl is like mommy's girl. You know, you always play by the rules. You're at home by 7 p.m. You don't go to party. You go to church. You wear decent clothes. You do this. You do that. That's good girl. And you're basically not the kind of girl they expect to see with a bad guy. You're the opposite of the bad guy. Like you dress proper. You're respectful. You know, you don't have all this.
I don't know if they would have called me that when I was growing up, Sha.
Or what? Good girl.
Good
They
girl.
wouldn't have called you a good girl. No. Not the deeper life people. Normal people.
Hey,
They
but
have
that's
called you
really
a
people
good
that
girl.
were.
Maybe that upper life people are not normal.
Like, no, please. I'm not saying they are not normal.
I wasn't like in my own mind I wasn't rebellious, but I wasn't the one that people will use as an example. The only time they use me as example is maybe for my academics. Everything else, I didn't get a lot of like, oh, be like Ruth,
Yeah, why?
or be like Temi.
Why you rebel? Well, we know you have some.
I wasn't rebellious, but like I will use lip balm. Like
no,
I will.
but that's normal.
No. I'm giving you an idea of like it wasn't until I got to uni that
it's from uni that I'm talking about.
Okay, so from uni,
why you
well,
a good girl?
very modest. Yeah, I was modest.
Yeah, you are like the typical good girl.
I'm very modest. I'm still like that. Like I say like I'm very sensible in my decision making. Maybe I'll think about it like that, but I don't know. Like, what's really good about good? What's good about good girls?
Well, Temi defined good girl very well. Like, dress decently. You even added to it. Me, I didn't even go out, but no partying. You dress well. You're respectful.
I was a good girl.
I was definitely a good girl. But the thing is, I feel like what you're trying to say, which most people don't like to come out, is that the good girls we're talking about is that a lot of good girls are not smart.
Good girls.
They are not street smart.
Naive, yes.
Good and
the same
naive.
thing.
So we say
They're not
naive.
street. They're not street
naive
smart.
girls.
Yes.
They're naive. That's what we usually mean by good girls. And those girls, it's not that they are.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's not that their morals are bad. It's just that they are
using their brain.
shege. And that's
exposed. But that's why Temi say she's not a good girl because she has.
Yes, she has sense.
Yeah,
So that's what we're trying to say. A lot of good girls are the ones that the reason they date bad boys is that sometimes they can't even see the writing on the wall.
Exactly.
And they just follow along sheepishly, and so you have to wake them up to say,
right. Yes.
what's going on?
But I'm also a good girl. In case you guys didn't know,
Disclaimer.
Categorize me. I'm also a good girl, but not the naive one.
No.
But funny enough, when I was in university, I did date a bad guy, and it wasn't because I did not have sex.
Maybe you were short of choices.
No.
No, what I mean is like, so if you had a preference, I know you schooled in Ukraine, right?
Yes.
So there weren't a lot of. Sorry, I said Ukraine. Hungry. We have to define hungry. Sorry, hungry, because a lot of Nigerians still went to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Hungry is the word. But there weren't a lot of like Nigerian boys.
Yeah, there were not a lot of Nigerian guys, but out of all the Nigerian guys, I happened to date someone that was definitely
He's a bad boy.
Okay, so why did you say he's a bad boy?
Yes.
Because he fits the definition of bad boy that you described.
So you liked it? Why?
To the T?
Almost to the T.
Oh wow.
With cornrows and everything.
No, the cornrows party now.
No, but the earrings?
Earrings now.
Okay.
Not like you might have touched
just confidence.
Confidence, and he had this bad habits, drinking, smoking, all these things. So yeah, he fits the bad boy definition. Even the way he used to dress, the way he used to carry himself, and he used to have a lot of girls falling
around him
and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So is there a reason why?
Thinking back at it now, why did I? Yeah, so the so-called good boys or the ones that were too good, they just seem like more to me. Like, who's this one? Boring. You know, I was in university again. I wasn't thinking of marriage. You know, when you're thinking of marriage, it's different. Your focus is different. But when you're in university, you're
someone will give you a good time.
Yeah, like
not somebody will dull you.
Yeah. So for me, the so-called good guys were boring. Like, what's the body bad? Steez, composure, everything. You know, that kind of thing. So, but I don't know if you say why did I date.
Did he approach you first?
Of course, before.
And when he did, no. What I mean was like, was he on your case? Because you know a lot of bad boys.
They are always on your case.
And they're persistent.
They're very persistent.
Funny thing is, I had a guy that was my friend, right? And he did not want me to date the guy. because he knew he was a bad boy. So he was protective of me. He didn't want me. Because the guy was on my case.
He was protective of you so that he will.
No, he was my friend. He had his own girlfriend, but he was protective.
Okay.
Like he knew that guy was a bad guy.
Okay.
So he didn't want me to date the guy.
Okay.
Do you get?
Okay.
So he already
Like,
told me
guy will
that.
spoil you.
What are you doing with that guy? Don't. And you know when you say don't, why? I want to go and see why.
Like I have this theory.
Yeah.
Date a bad boy, marry a good boy.
Exactly. Like if it comes to marriage, for bad boys, fling bad boy out of the window. They
But the
have no
thing
place.
is, if you don't date a bad boy, you will not
when
know.
you meet a good boy.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you.
Yes.
I say something. That's what today I appreciate my husband more because I've seen the light.
Who is this guy? And what did you do to our family?
I don't know if I completely agree with you. Like that you must date a bad guy.
I'm not
No,
saying
you
must.
mustn't, but it will help you to appreciate
Yeah.
a good guy.
When you then meet
There's
a
some
good guy,
girls,
it will help you.
They never date a bad boy. So when they now have a good guy, it's like what's there? They are not appreciating. It's like there's more out there. They'll not leave a good guy. When they now date the bad
Understand
guy,
what
it's
that
too
means.
late to come back to the good guy.
Yeah.
So it's better you do the
I
bad one first
understand.
before you.
Okay, I understand what
Yeah.
that means. I understand what that means.
Because
Okay.
seeing when you're dating, especially if you're a good girl, or so the normal good girl, not the naive one. Like especially when you're a good girl and you're dating a guy who's a good guy, there's no excitement. It almost feels like same old every day, nothing new. When you date a bad boy that you're busy doing FBI agents to find who is the side chick? Am I the side chick?
Checking.
Or is there a side chick? You're busy investigating matters arising. You're checking his phone. You're policing him. He said he was going to X, but I later found out that he went to Y. When all those things happen when you're dating, it reprograms you that you now realize, right, this is not what I want
That's
for
not
my
what I want
life.
for my life. Thank you.
Interesting.
Exactly. That's how I knew that cheating is a deal breaker for me. I can't deal with this for the rest of my life. Like no, hell no. Do you get? Immediately you reset your brain and know that there are some things that
Yeah,
That you
or the
can
one that just
accept.
because he feels like he's so fine, he's so good looking, he treats you. No, I don't want to say bad, but he treats you like you are not his priority. Like, do you get what I mean? You're not his priority. He's not coming after you with that vigor of, look, I'm interested in you. Because there are, like you said, there are 1,000,001 girls
but
flocking around
this one
him.
was actually on my case too.
But there are 1,000,001 girls around him, so you are even competing.
There were 1,000,000, but this one was actually on my case to the extent that my friend that is a guy had said, no, I don't want to see you around me again. I don't want like this guy is not good for you. Don't. For where and they were friends like me and this guy was, that kind of thing where the person will just be all over you.
No, not when he's trying to get you.
Okay, after
he has gotten you. So after he has gotten you, you now have to contend with all the 1,000,001 girls that are flocking
That still
around
trying to
him.
get him while
And sometimes
you
he
are-
does not even know how
Yeah.
to say no because he's a bad
They
boy.
usually don't have boundaries. There's nothing like.
So when you date that kind of person, unless your village people are after you, one day your brain is going to kick in and be like, God, this is not what I want for my life. And so you will now be able to spot the signs. For a lot of naive babes, they don't know how to spot the signs. So they now end up marrying those people. And those people are not husband material.
They're not husband material at all. You can't marry that person.
I can understand what you guys mean, but I mean, there are obvious bad guys, and then there are the coded bad guys. Like they're the ones that maybe the only people that will know about the badness are maybe their closest friends, right? So in a way, maybe I've experienced a little bit of that to be able to know the sense. But I feel like you don't necessarily need to date a bad guy because you could get stuck in that bad guy relationship.
Even without dating.
Even
As
no,
in
like
without-
when you're dating, say for example, okay, if you meet a bad guy that is obviously like a full-on bad guy, everybody knows it, and you're enjoying the relationship, everything seems good, it's giving you everything that you feel like you need, and then he decides that I'm going to marry you.
Yeah, he said I'm not marrying you because you know that.
Hey,
But you
girls
just said
don't do
something,
that.
you are enjoying the relationship. What me and Femi are describing is that you are not enjoying that relationship because
How
once
will
he
you
gets
know?
you and you now see his true colors, you now realize that, oh my God, I made a big mistake. That's very different. So you know that there's some people that society will say they are bad guys.
Right.
But really, they're not bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? So those kind of people, you would enjoy the relationship with him. So yes, maybe he's not a mama's boy. He's not the average yes ma kind of boy, but he's
still-
giving you everything you want. He's treating you right. That's not the people. That is a husband material. Keep him.
Okay. So why do good girls now date the bad? We've answered the question. Is that
Because
what you're saying?
opposites attract. It's simple. And then, like Kumi said, some of them are naive. So I can understand you even dating, but if you're not going to marry a bad guy, there must be something wrong with you. If you dated and you are just like, okay, having fun, when it now comes to marriage, you need to know this is for life. Like
You need to pack your tissues.
yes, no, and you're like, no, this one is not marriage material. So, yeah.
And I guess that also explains why bad girls always want the good guys.
Yes, because those bad girls
Because they are smart.
Yeah.
Because those girls have been
They're
in the
like
world.
streets, yeah.
They have street sense.
Yeah.
So at that point, they already know. And in fact, let's even take it back. There was one theory, I can't remember who told me, they were like, notice that the bad girls marry first a lot of the time. Because while good girls are still booting, they're still trying to understand what is going on. Good girls, once they spot bad girls, once they spot a good guy, they know that, this one is a keeper. Next thing you hear, they are getting married.
Yeah.
She knows that this one is not the usual.
Yeah. Like I'm not messing around with this.
Yeah.
one. Okay.
So that's why they get married very quickly.
All right. Okay. I get it.
Reason why I take a lot of cookie jar questions today because this is a hot topic. So at least each person should be able to take at least 4 questions.
Okay.
So
let's see.
Let's start. Who are we starting with?
Yes, boss. I'll go.
See, just volunteered.
I'll go. See, you guys, I took
Why are
one
we
for the
afraid
team.
of the cookie jars?
I feel like sometimes you're not sure what will come out. Do bad boys ever truly change, or is that wishful thinking? Maybe they change, but
It's only God that can change them.
but don't wait
That's how
around
you can change.
waiting for him to change.
Yeah.
If you
can't even do that, yeah.
get to the point where you find out that you're dating a bad boy, as much as you love him from afar,
Yeah, let him go, please.
let him go.
Nowhere to draw the line.
Yeah, let him go.
Too serious that it's entering
If you
marriage,
knew,
then
yeah,
you
especially if you
Yeah.
knew it was a bad boy. I don't know. That thing will haunt you for the rest of your
Let him
life
go.
because you just be.
There's so
imagining,
many
oh,
women who ended up with guys that they shouldn't end up with.
Yeah.
And the signs were there from the beginning.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. Okay. If bad boys were suddenly boring, would they still be attractive?
No, that's what I said. That the good guys were boring. That's why I went for the bad guys. So it won't be attractive.
I guess based on our definition of bad boys,
Yeah.
they'll give you a fun time. Yeah.
Wait. Why is she winking like that? Why is she winking like that? Like, what do you think the fun times are?
This is the so-called good girl, because I don't understand the winking that she's winking.
Like, what do you think the fun times are?
Because people are just talking about partying and all that stuff.
Same.
I'm sure there's more to bad boys than partying. Does it mean that they're more fun too in the other room? We didn't talk about that part.
I'm speechless. I did not find out.
Exactly.
Okay, we know only one person.
I wish that was not a good girl, please. Okay.
Continue.
How much of the attraction is about rebellion against societal norms?
lot of it.
That's
A lot of
actually a
it.
good one. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
That's it. That's actually a good one because if you find a good girl that's really sheltered, once they're out there and they see they're like, what? There's so much more.
Exactly.
And then it's like their brain stops working again. And it's like one boy just comes and is like, oh baby girl, it's like this guy is attracted to me. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden it's like they lose their entire sense and they're just whatever. And before you know what's happening, they slowly lose themselves. And it's the thing with rebellion is once you get out of your parents' what do you call it now? Once you get out of the shelter that you're in and you're out there in the world, then all of a sudden you're like, now I will show them. There are different levels of rebellion, no? But it's like, now I will show them. Unfortunately, like we said, they don't used to have sense. So they don't used to know that, oh, there's protection, no. Oh, there is, what do you call it? There are things you can do before you actually carry belly. And they are the ones that once they get pregnant, they don't know what to do, and then they're back to their...
Do you know, I used to say this thing, like, I think this was a conversation I had with my mom once. I was like, see, it is the good girls that get pregnant.
Yes.
The bad girls,
They know how to handle it.
they know how to handle it. They take care of themselves before it even gets to that point. It's good girls that you now discover that she got pregnant, and you now be embarrassing her. You now be nah.
The naivety.
But the thing is that a lot of parents did not understand that.
They didn't.
We had a conversation because there was a girl on our street that got pregnant, teenage pregnancy, and my mom came home that day and she was like, "Can you imagine?" In my mind, I'm like, "Mommy, calm down." Like, it's not that serious. That they even found out she was pregnant is because she don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you know how many girls had like multiple abortions that nobody ever knew? They are the ones that will tell you whether it's postino.
But that doesn't do abortion, Sha. That one is emergency contraception.
They are the ones that know postino. They are the ones that know.
Mix good down with Montaguiness. I'm telling you, you will hear us.
The bad girls, they take care of themselves on a steady.
Yeah, that reminds me too. Like, I think in secondary school, like, there was somebody that got pregnant too around that time when we were graduating, and it was like, you know, this person, like, you could tell, like, it's one of those things where you just want to hang out with these people, like, and then something happened, and then you don't know, like, all these girls that go, they use what's that thing that you take before you go?
What do they
before
take?
you go to a party, or before they have sex, they'll protect themselves.
No, postino is after. Like,
no, before. It's not pill. They take like the pill.
Contraceptives.
They take.
So, except you have been using contraceptive pills, the regular ones, over a period of time. If you want to really protect yourself, it's after postino.
It's the morning after.
Yes, the morning after pill.
You know, good girl. We don't know anything, no. But yeah, like, she obviously didn't know that, but the people that she was hanging out with that were doing it on a daily because they just knew that, okay, this is how we get rid of it, and nobody told her.
Imagine with someone
and she just got pregnant.
You know your fertile window. The bad girls know that this is a red zone. This is not the time. But the good girls don't even know. Anytime they're just they will now get pregnant.
What you get?
Yeah.
As in, I remember that conversation, and to me, I was just like, see, parents, I guess I get it. Nobody wants to end up in that situation. But for me, I was like, first of all, if you educated your daughter adequately, she will not be in that situation in the first place. Number two, if you didn't shelter her so much and you actually taught her street sense. So the first one is sexual education. The second one is street sense.
Yeah.
Then she also would not be in that situation. So
How
actually,
do you teach street sense?
How do you teach street smarts?
I want to know.
I guess this masterclass is for my mom, because I feel like let me think on it, because I know my mom did it with us, because you know, we're girls. My mom did it with us, where I think the first thing she used to do is she used to tell us a lot of stories. So right from primary school, my mom used to tell us a lot of stories, but she used those stories to teach us, where the story would be like, oh, you know, so I believe that a lot of them were made up, right? But that they were to drive the point home, where she would tell us, like, oh, imagine there was this girl that was walking on the street, and then a guy called her, and then she followed him to the back of the shed, and she used to tell us all those kind of stories, and you just be sitting there like, wow, mommy, that happened, right? So she used those stories to teach us, number one. Number two is when things happen in the neighborhood, right? I think that to a large extent, she allowed us to hear about those things, because then it told us, like, this is what's happening. So, like, there was a situation where there was a rape on the street and stuff like that, and she was like, oh, this is how it happened, right? And so, yeah.
Okay. There's that. I guess that would make sense. Then I guess when you talk about sheltering the kids, like, how would you not shelter your kid?
So, I mean, like all those things that are happening, we even now with social media, we live in a world where there is a lot happening constantly. Did your parents not tell you things like, don't pick money on the floor, you turn into a goat?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All those things, did it actually mean that you turn into a goat?
Probably not. Well, maybe in some cases. With all the jazz. But yeah.
Like, did you actually think you would turn into a goat? I feel like those things were done to teach us, like, some sense, right? Did they not tell you things like don't get into a car with a stranger, right? So if you can do that, you can now take it a step further, especially when you have like teenage daughters, and tell them things like, don't go and get, like, tell them the situations around getting pregnant. Like, I was telling Femi one day, like, the school I went to, right from when we were like 10, 11, they would have like school assemblies where they would tell us things, and God bless our principal, I think she's late now, where she would say things like, if you went to a party and you were drinking and you went to dance, don't come back and drink the same drink. So they taught us those things. God bless Mrs. Sojourn. And the funny thing is, even as an adult, I still do it. Right? It's something you can't forget. Or they teach you things like when you go to a party, make sure that you tell at least one person where you've gone, with whom you've gone, and then when you're at that party, if it starts to get late and you feel a bit funny, find a safe place to sleep.
Those are important.
Right? So a lot of parents, especially if you didn't go to a school like I went to, where
they taught
most
of us didn't. I don't think anybody ever told me those things.
Then the job is on the parents. You need to teach your daughter. Like, if you go out and you start feeling woozy, what do you do? Right? Because there's so many children, or I don't want to call them kids, there's so many young ladies who go somewhere, they say it's a fruit punch. Have you seen all those fruit punch? When I was at university, it was rampant. They would say it's a fruit punch, but they've actually put like marijuana in it, or they've put a good dose of alcohol. So you drink it and you start feeling a bit funny. What next?
Some of us is
so those conversations need to happen.
Honestly, some of us is God that protected us. And maybe so sometimes I feel like if you're lacking in some, then you must be abundant in the other.
What is some? What is abundance?
So shelter versus street smart.
Okay.
So like if you're not too sheltered, then you might not feel the need to experience everything that you see out there.
Okay, please explain.
So, for example, I don't think I'll consider myself street smart. Like, I'm street smart when it comes to like doing maybe business or whatever it is, money and all that. But when it comes to like knowing things about parties, I never went to like a party. You know what I mean? So I would never know something like, oh, if you're drinking a drink and you get up and you go and dance, don't come back. I never did that. Do you understand? So I would never know if I actually went to a party, somebody put that in. I would never know unless you mention it now, right? But one thing that I think helped me was I wasn't as sheltered, right? For example, I was allowed to have friends that were boys in the house, right? My mom wouldn't say, oh, if I say I want to, my mom had a shop. In the shop, if somebody stops to talk to me, she's not going to be like, get out, what are you doing here? Get out of... She won't do that. She'll let me talk and have a conversation. She won't overthink it. She won't think too much about it. We can have a discussion about it later if she wants to, and it won't be a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So that sheltering of like, you can't talk to boys, so then you don't know how to deal with yourself around boys. Where if a boy now approaches you and is giving you all these teas, you're like, dead. I wasn't like that. Why? Because I wasn't sheltered. I had a lot of friends at least people that I thought were my friends, that were male, like that were boys, and I didn't not know how to act around them. Do you know what I mean? But like that's where I'm talking about with the balance, right? So when I got to uni, I just was like, okay, now it's time to focus on my books. And funny enough, my immediate group, they weren't like the most spiritual. You know, they were Christians. Some of them were Christians. Some of them were not particularly like Christians, but a good number of them were Christians. But they weren't like my kind of Christian, right? So I didn't feel the need to like be, extra, like show them that, I can have a good time, like all that stuff. We just had a normal like Christian university experience, and I didn't feel the need to go to parties or to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Why? Because I wasn't I wasn't looking for that experience. Do you understand? So that's where I'm coming from. Whereas like girls that I know that were like super sheltered, when they go to uni, somebody tells them there's a party there, freedom, all this freedom. I don't know what to do with my freedom, with my time. Let's go and check it out. That's where they take advantage of them.
I would say I was sheltered, which is quite interesting.
But you were street smart.
I was sheltered, but I was street smart.
See.
So I was sheltered in my house. We couldn't have boys over. How do you even tell mom that you're talking to one boy? But also we didn't have late nights. We didn't go out. Like we couldn't even visit friends. If you're not coming to us, that's it. Right? So we couldn't visit friends. We weren't going to parties. We didn't have boy friends. None of that stuff. But we were street smart in a sense that there was no naivety allowed in my house, right? And my mom would send you on errands where she would just give you money for transport. And she can send you from one end of the city to the other end of the city. And she wasn't, I think that's why she also wasn't scared, right? And I remember a situation where, I think this was like my first year or second year at university, where a group of guys offered to give me a car ride somewhere I was going, because that day for some reason there were no buses coming and I'd been waiting for a while and it was getting late, right? But I think one of the things that my mom also did for us was learning to read the room.
People, yeah.
And learning to read people, because we weren't naive. When I got into that car, it was because I needed to get out of that place, right? But then when I started hearing some code words in the vehicle flying around and they were talking in code, my brain had kicked in.
A few times, yeah.
A few times.
It happened to me in uni. Actually, not even a lot. Yeah.
When I started hearing some code words flying around and the body language started changing,
yeah.
No one had to tell me like, okay, you have to get out of here. Right? And then I just took the first opportunity when the vehicle stopped to say, you know what, it's fine. This is my stop. I'm no longer. And they tried to cajole me and be like, oh, you know, but I wasn't afraid. It wasn't from a place of fear. It was just a place of, I understand that, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like a lot of good girls, if they're sheltered, they don't have street smarts. So
if you not have both, perfect.
yeah, if you have both, perfect.
If you have both, yeah.
The way she's searching as if she's searching for treasure. Femi, notice that Femi did not say anything about whether she was raised sheltered or
Because
street smart.
When I was much younger, we were more sheltered. But by the time we got secondary school, I was allowed to have boys visit me. I used to bring Val's gifts home from school.
That one I didn't do sharp, but I think that might have been.
I feel like my mother would have fainted.
I used to go to parties and all that. So it's a mix. They wouldn't send me on errand on the road like they did for you. But I used to have boys come over.
Yeah.
I used to go for parties because the driver would drop us. So it's semi-sheltered. Let me just put it that way.
So it's kind of a little balanced, yeah. So you weren't like completely naive.
Yes, no, because by the time I got to university, by my second year, I didn't go to club anymore because I'd seen it done. What am I going to go and look for? And they were playing boring music. Me, I go to clubs to dance. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do all those things. I only go to dance. So when I'm hearing techno music in the club, what's the motivation for me? Please.
That's very European.
Yeah.
But Femi give us some lyrics. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Do you remember that song?
No,
I don't know this song.
I actually don't know.
Love me, Jeje.
Oh, yeah.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm not a bad boy.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Okay. Why did you ask me this question? I can't get it from the person. What's the biggest lesson you learned from dating a bad boy? As if they knew that.
The right person.
What's the biggest lesson I learned from
Yeah.
dating a bad person? Bad boy is not for marriage. That is just what you should do.
Yeah.
They're dating them is just to while away time or if they are bored or whatever, but never date them with the goal of marriage. It's a bad boy doesn't fit. Bad boy and married, they are opposites. They don't fit in the same sentence because some people don't realize they think that bad boys will change. They don't change. Even in marriage, I doubt they will ever change. Those old habits never die. So if you're dating a bad boy, just know that there's no future. So you're probably doing it for fun. I don't do anything that will get you in a permanent position with the person, like maybe go and have kids for the person or something, because that would just be a disaster. So that's the biggest lesson. They are not for marriage. They're not husband material. But
Love me, Tete. I think now that we've been talking about partying and dancing, please, I think I deserve a
Where is
party
the
in my
party?
life. Let's go and shake some booty.
Madam Patsy.
Someone that hears you say that would think I'm a party girl. Okay, but I do like to have a good time. Let's keep it going.
Ooh, okay, I like this one. If you could design, but why am I the one answering this one now? If you could design the perfect mix of a nice guy and a bad boy, what traits would he have?
We won't even help you.
Why me? So, I don't know how to answer this one.
Like,
So
It's
it's how
hard.
you are building a man. What are the traits you are going to put?
you know that place where you build a bear?
Eh.
Imagine it's a man, your dream man.
Yeah.
What traits would he have? Like, I don't think
So what are
traits.
the good guy traits you put, and what are the bad boys traits you put to make?
Okay, I guess you just described my husband, Nabi. The
Tell us
confidence.
Oh,
The
Timio.
Very
the
political.
I'm not political. Like, so it's like, so you think about the confidence, the steez, the, what will you call it? Like, everything around, like, the way, the way the person talks. I talked about how I like music. Somebody that's into music.
Someone that's good with his hands. Okay, continue.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then nice guy, of course, like he's a good guy too, right? So it's like, yeah, those are the traits. So what makes him nice? He treats you right. Buys you flowers. Actually, my husband's the first one that bought me a flower, and I was like, why did you get me a flower? I don't want flowers. What are they using flower to do?
She cannot even pretend.
I don't know how to be. I was like, flower and chocolates, okay. For such a thing, I just like the usual, like, okay, we go out, we eat and have a good time, but like, so like the person treats you nice, good, takes care of you. What else? Treats other people nice, is kind, like all those good things. Knows when to like tone down the steez a little to listen, right? Because like, so because nice guys are usually like seen as, or not nice, good guys are usually seen as like a little humble. So you want a bit of humility, and you want the confidence. Like you just want it perfectly. I guess those are some of the things I'll think about. But I don't think I'll add like partying and all those things, like hanging out with the boys till 4 a.m. as like a trait that he should have. Like as a perfect mix.
Why would you want?
I don't know. I feel like some girls, the girls that are into like having a good time, like party girls, would want to add that. You know what I mean? So someone who treats me right, does everything, but knows how to have a good time out there, right? We can go out partying together, right? So I guess it also depends on who you're talking to that's trying to combine the traits, right? Me, I didn't care too much for like partying, so that wouldn't be my thing. But like the elements of bad boys, I'll pick, right? Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You people still know. It's not just me. Excuse me. All the other questions, you people, everybody.
This last question I answered, did anybody answer?
Because no. Because excuse me. Look at me. Because nobody else dated the bad girl. You're the only one that said you dated the bad girl. That's why. But all the other questions, everybody chime in. Your turn.
Yeah, go ahead, your turn.
You can't run away. You can't run away. You can't run away.
Okay, bring the
If
question.
you could mix, I can read it for you. If you could design the perfect mix of a nice guy and a bad boy, what traits would he have?
Okay, first of all, a guy that treats me like a queen.
Okay.
And then
The accent.
oh my god. All right, so
So you know what? Let's make it easier. What are the bad boys traits you are putting, and what are the good guy traits you are putting?
so first of all, good
Mix
guy
it in the
traits.
pot, yeah.
Someone who is kind, who is humble, and who knows how to treat his woman.
Okay.
Okay, so good guy traits. I also want a guy that loves God.
I like that. Yeah.
What else? A guy who knows how to cook.
I like it. This list.
Obviously, we know what she's describing.
Who knows how to cook?
We know
Because
what
I like
she's
to
describing,
eat.
though. Okay.
Now, bad boy traits. Please be able to roll your hips and dance.
Ah.
Like, I
didn't see
just
that one.
be good with your hands as well. Like like you know,
Perfectly.
not perfect, but just clean hands, clean nails,
Well shaven.
well shaven. Yeah, I don't like
Photos,
rugged,
yeah.
rusty looking.
We know you the
rough,
dirty.
rough. I don't like rough looking men. But please be able to dance.
That dancing.
I like.
Where do you dance?
Have I not been the one that said I want to go to party?
I've not seen her like
I'm
fully.
not a fantastic dancer, but I do like to dance.
Well, we don't even really see you dancing like that.
Get me a party.
Hey,
Please, let me
that's
see
going to be
a
our next time.
Right, but to be fair, I like dancing. Now, I'm not a fantastic dancer, but
it
I
doesn't
like
matter.
dancing. So, you know, I like enjoying myself. So, if he's the kind of person that I want to dance and he's sitting down looking at me, no, please move. Boring. Okay, so then I like quiet confidence. Right? You're not braggy, you're not showy, you're not
We're
loud.
talking about the bad boy traits you're supposed to.
That's it now.
Okay, they have
So they have
confidence,
confidence, but like
your confidence,
Yeah.
quiet confidence. Like you're not trying to show, you're just confident. Like, you know, there's some guys that everybody might be talking. Like me, I'm a talker. Everybody might be talking, and he's just quiet, and then he might just say one sentence,
gang, gang.
and that sentence makes sense. Die. Yeah, so I like that.
Okay.
I like actually, I don't like beer. So
Yeah.
for me, it was a no.
You mean
Don't
drinking beer?
drinking beer.
Okay.
So I don't like smokers. I don't like drinkers. But I like somebody who, you are not naive sexually. I don't know how to put it.
She has to be good in the other room. That's what she's trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, it's
basically.
you that like to say the other room. I've started picking it up.
Yeah.
From
Like
your-
you're not naive. You're not the kind of person who is stiff. You know, there's some church boys that they're just one direction. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The one direction. No, please now. Can we change style?
Oh, I talk about it in the other room.
Yeah.
Oh, why will you be one direction?
There's some people that don't mind missionary all day, every day.
Don't even get me started, but at least be open to explore. I also like playful. I don't want to call it playful because when you say playful, people get the wrong idea. Like you're playing like children. No, but like. I don't know. Like,
Which is
don't be
what-
uptight.
yeah, which
like,
is
be
what, like, bad boys. Yeah, they do
be
have that
adventurous. Okay, be adventurous. Be open to try different stuff.
things.
So yeah.
Okay,
Like it.
that's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Why is Femi pretending like she does not remember she's supposed to build?
like
Both of us. Why she pretending like she does not know she's supposed to build a man?
Okay, so
Yeah, build your
mine
man.
is very similar to
Mix it.
So let me see the good guy traits. What are good guy traits? Obviously caring, romantic. Yes.
I like romantic.
Although bad boys can be romantic too, so maybe that should be the bad boy trait. So
You should like most good guys they don't even know how to be
yeah,
romantic.
yeah.
Probably
Most
not.
times
Okay.
the bad guys are romantic. So romantic,
Okay.
then caring from the good guy side, kind. Is someone that should be someone that respects you, that treats you like a queen. So bad boys don't have that. They can be romantic, but sometimes they don't know how to
Yeah.
But
They're not always gonna be about you.
Yes,
They're gonna
exactly.
be, yeah.
Somebody that just basically loves you and it's obvious.
Yeah.
Someone that you can depend on and someone I can look up to. Oh my god. Like the way I said my husband that he's like my mentor. I can look up to him like I don't know how to explain it, but you know, if I'm thinking of, there's something about like I want to be like this, I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that, you know. Someone that will shall make you proud.
Yeah.
Then the bad boy side, then romantic, yes,
Okay.
comfy. You see that's that's you cannot
Hey!
be missing. That's the all these good boy. No, please. Have swagger.
Command the room.
Command and control.
Hey!
But like said, nowhere to tone down the speed when it's come
yeah.
to us. But outside, have that command control. So when you enter a room like this,
Everybody be like, who?
man, when you enter this room, Shakara is too much. It doesn't look down. It doesn't look straight. I'm like,
I'm done.
swagger for relax. Do you get it? So yeah, that one is there. And let me see what else. He has to be good in bed. I think I already mentioned that.
Yeah.
There are some good guys that maybe they're not good in bed. So the bad part of being good in bed has to be there. Not like to Kome said, one position all the time.
You mix it up.
Mix and match.
Gang.
And What else?
Not when you have a good the doctor that's expert in.
I don't know why, but I kind of feel in my head that doctors kind of have the upper advantage in the other room.
True.
Because you know the right places, you know the. I don't have to explain it, but there's some things I know because I'm a doctor, and I'm thinking, do other people know this?
Hey, you should share. Maybe in another. Not for
Please
you.
pay
Not
for
for you
Femi's
guys.
master
Not for
class.
you guys. This
Femi,
one for us.
Femi,
Later.
I'm your manager. I'm collecting money for Femi's masterclass. If you want to learn how to be in the other room.
Okay, how these guys treat me? That I built my woman.
Oh my god.
Do bad boys put in more effort to be exciting than nice guys do? Yes. They
They
do.
put in more effort.
They do.
How?
They do. So you see a lot of good guys. Valentine's Day, they will
Oh,
forget.
right.
Birthday,
Right.
nothing new.
Yeah.
Bad boys,
They know
it's
how
their
to-
occupation. They know how
The-
to
the
get
news
your
is
brain
always correct.
spinning.
They're
Right.
always correct. Yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like a lot of good, that's where good guys lose out. Because the bad boys, they are thinking, they are strategizing how to get and keep the babe.
Yeah, I really like that element of like. So I know we've been using the word bad boys a lot, but I just remember something like it's like, you know how bad boys, they know that. So a bad boy will get a girl a gift. Maybe it's a nice dress. You know what I mean?
And then he'll say, wear it for our
He'll say,
date.
"Wait, yes, it's like that's like so nice. A good guy would never do that.
Okay,
The
so let
way-
me take it. Temi's one is the nice, the innocent one. He gets you lingerie and he says, wear it for me
He
tonight.
said that's the innocent one.
Okay, you guys, now I'm shy. Now I'm
He gets
shy.
you just like this is what I want
Like
you
he
to
gets
wear.
you lingerie, like all those edible lingerie, and then he says, wear it for me tonight.
Can get
Hey!
spicy.
All this one shouts.
That she said edible
I know.
lingerie.
I wanted to. Which one are they eating now? Because I don't know that one. Please explain. What is edible?
Please Google it. Where did I find these people from?
We don't know anything.
Oh, body oil. Ooh. And he's like, this is all I want to smell on you tonight.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
See?
You
See?
guys.
Nice.
rest
This
my
is why
case.
bad boys are interesting, honestly. This is why.
Baby, why are you choking up?
I think I've even lost track of who's picking and who's not picking. Is it my turn?
So because I talked about lingerie, you want to hyperventilate. Hey.
Can a man be dangerous but still have a good heart?
Yes.
I agree with that actually.
Wait, what do you mean by dangerous?
So like bad,
a
like
bad
bad
boy.
in that sense.
Bad
Bad in
boy.
that sense, but like bad in that
Not
sense,
dangerous
but
like he's a killer.
not that
Okay,
kind of
okay,
dangerous.
okay.
Like at least I hope.
No.
I hope that's what the question is.
No, we're
saying.
talking of bad boy.
Well, yeah, well, like if he's a bad, like he can be a bad boy and have all that stuff. But you know what's interesting? Like there might be some bad boys that haven't actually had sex.
Ah, yes, now. We're all
the
good
bad boys
children
that
of
know.
God.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying that they have that. What do you call it? Everybody sees the flirty, fun side of them, and you maybe later hear that this person's a virgin. Is it not possible?
Yeah, it is possible.
Right? So sometimes like they might not have that level, like they might not be following through with everything that you think that they're doing. And I feel like some of it might also be that there's a bit of that good in them where they're like, don't, like they hold themselves back a little bit. You know what I mean? And they're not like all the way like crazy. I'm just saying. But yeah, but it doesn't mean, even if you meet a bad boy, it doesn't mean that he's not a nice guy. It doesn't mean that he's not a kind guy. It might not give you all the attention, but I don't think it means that he's not kind. There's some bad boys, they will spend all this money, like they can, be there for their friends, their closest friends till the end. You know what I mean? But they're not necessarily like always sticking to a woman.
Yeah, so as a woman, the reason why we're saying run away is because you're going to need a lot of attention at some point
It's true,
or
yeah.
the other,
Yeah.
right? And so if this guy can be there for his friends, but he cannot be attentive to you,
You just know
red
your
flag.
guy. Yeah.
Run.
You just know your guy. Oh yeah, they can be
Okay.
good.
So, last one, eh?
Yep. And then we take the audience questions. See, I not pick from bottom this time, so you better read.
You learnt your lesson.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear bad boy? I think
we kind of
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
So we place this one for audience.
We
Let me go to
talked
the
about
bottom and
it.
go and pick my
Bad
question.
boys with the earrings and the braided hair. I mean, it doesn't apply these days anymore.
Yeah, because now even good guys are braiding their hair.
Church
and
boys
even putting
are-
on tattoos.
Tattoos, yeah.
Ah,
Church
I
boys.
forgot tattoos. No. Even till now, tattoos are for me,
Yeah. No. But it's typical bad boy.
Typical.
But now, so
But
how
even
do
good
you even
guys
categorize
are
a
now
bad boy
wearing
now
tattoos.
in this age? How do
Yeah,
you
it's
categorize
difficult.
them? It's hard.
you
though.
need to get to know the person a little more.
Yeah, you have to go a little.
For me, smoking and excessive drinking is still a
Definitely
no.
bad boy.
Yeah, but you can't tell right away. Like, unless you can tell from their lips, because like I guess some of them they get like dark.
Is that
lips.
Oh,
real?
I think that is just a myth.
Yeah, I didn't know that though.
Oh, you're smoking weed for me.
Smoking weed, eh?
This one that in this country they want to make it illegal. The person will argue that it's
I
legal now, so
know,
what's
I
bad
know.
there?
So
Yeah,
not a
it's
big
legal,
deal.
but I don't want to be with someone that sometimes
yeah.
he's under the influence of something else.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he might be okay for other people, for me and mine and my household.
Even pastors now wear earrings.
Yeah, person now even have tattoos and all these things. They'll say
This is
don't
where
judge
the
appearance,
world
it's
we
the
live
heart.
in now.
So you know what? Okay, let me backtrack on tattoos. So there are a lot of people who are Christians who became Christians after they got the tattoo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That one.
But there's no
Do you
way
want
for
them to go and
know-
laser it off?
But there's no way for there's no way for you to know until like.
So you need to get to know the person
them.
a little bit.
So I guess that's where we're going.
And
with
then
this.
by the time I start seeing half your body covered in tattoos of like a python, a cobra.
Holy Spirit.
Yo, Temi's reaction.
I just went python and cobra. But like, where did you get that? Hey, God,
Oh, don't you see?
I know they wear. I know they
so
wear.
like
I'm just
one
like,
sleeve is like a python or a cobra. No.
How can you even sleep? Me, I
I
feel
don't
like as
even
that person
wanna-
sleeping, you'll be feeling the image.
Ha! Oh my God.
Somebody will be
I just feel like that will put me off.
Yeah. So like, what will you do? Like, if somebody was in the world before they became Christians and before when they were in the world, they had like all those kinds of tattoos. Do they do anything to like remove them?
No, they
I don't know.
Even in
It's
the
not a
church that I used
prerequisite.
to go to before, one of the pastors, tattoos all over. I was on the pulpit.
The church I used to go to before.
Southview.
Oh. I thought you were talking about my life. I wanted to say, possible that person can never be a pastor.
Of course, never.
Like,
No.
That one, I meant like
it's
here
not
in
possible.
Canada.
Okay, here,
even the pastor is on stage.
even in my
tattoos all
current
over.
church, like
Yeah.
not the main pastor, but like the youth pastor has one of the ways that has tattoos. The one of the youth pastors wears earrings and sometimes I struggle with it, but that's a different topic.
Okay, so audience question. Have you ever had a crush on a bad boy?
Ha! Thank God we did not get this one.
Please don't just tell us yes. Give us the gist in the
Give us
comments.
the
Comments. So we'll meet again same time next week.
Bye.